we're taking a look at the Past Life Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Brian Wise. Now, many of you subscribed to this channel already know who Doreen is, so she needs no introduction, but we've never talked about Brian Wise before, and some of you may recognize his name from books such as Many Lives, Many Masters, and that awesome Soulmate book, which is just so much fun to read, Only Love is Real. I ordered these cards even before they were released, but I was pretty busy doing a whole lot of other stuff back then when they came out, so I'm only getting to this now, even though I have been excited to put this together. Anyhow, I invite you to stay even after we check out the Past Life Oracle cards for our bonus channeled segment. That is my special thank you and treat for those of you who enjoy receiving some inspiration and food for thought. Are you ready? Let's go! Welcome back. Now, before we actually get into the deck, I just want to say that, from my personal experience, you can use these cards for readings that don't involve past lives at all. I'm very fascinated with the concept of other lifetimes and tend to lean more towards the school of thought of parallel rather than past lives. Parallel lives come from the school of thought of all time being one, rather than happening in a linear fashion, and I find all of that really stimulating to think about. But relating all this to the cards, if you enjoy using oracle decks to get insights, you can use these, regardless of what your beliefs are when it comes to the whole past life stuff. So here's the box right in front of us, with the usual awesome standard Hay House quality, which you already know about if you have a bunch of Doreen's other decks or some other Hay House decks. And on the inside, if I can get it open, yeah, I like that it's pretty tight actually because it keeps the card safe. Okay, on the inside, the lining is yellow. The guidebook is 102 pages long, not counting the information at the end on the authors and other additional details. It begins by giving an intro on the deck and talks about using a 3-card spread to receive messages. This is followed by card meanings, with each card getting a page and a half or 2. A small black and white picture of the card is included, which is handy in case you like taking the guidebook with you to read somewhere but leave the cards at home. And now let's get to the extra fun part, the cards. So there are 44 in this deck, much like a lot of Doreen's other decks, and in fact, a lot of other Oracle decks in general. Here's a closer look at the card backs, which is pretty cool, I think, because it's so symbolic. You know, that whole doorway thing into another world, another lifetime. And these cards have gold edges. The card stock is really good. Standard Hay House quality, which is on the thicker side. As for the pictures, I am a huge fan of the style of imagery used on these cards. They are actual pictures which to me appear really classy. You know how sometimes, and you'll know what I'm talking about if you've worked with quite a few Oracle card decks. As I was saying, you know how sometimes the artwork on certain decks doesn't resonate with you? You could really like the deck, but the artwork is just, you know, not your type. When that happens to me, I feel like if I were working with photographs instead, that would make all the difference to get me to like the deck even more. So personally, I'm really pleased with the images on these cards. The retro and vintage effect on some of them, to me, is just awesome because I love that stuff. And if you've seen some of my other videos, which I don't expect you to, by the way, because those were makeup videos, but if you've seen some of them, then you'll understand my love for vintage stuff. I also like how they're straightforward. There's a card title below, but no mini interpretations or affirmations, which could help your intuition open up further as the reader. Anyhow, remember what I said in the beginning of this video about using these cards even for readings not involving past lives? Let's say you really resonate with the energy of the cards and with the images, but you don't necessarily want to use them for past life readings. What you can do is, in that case, to take out the cards that you don't see yourself relating to other readings. These are some examples, the cards with place names on them. But you can keep these in the deck, of course, if you have personal interpretations for them that you can relate to even general readings. And that's it for our look at the past life oracle cards. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I loved putting this video together for you. Hi again, angels! Welcome to our bonus channeled segment. If you clicked on this video only for the past life oracle cards, you don't have to stay, but please do if you enjoy receiving inspiring and uplifting messages. What we do here is we listen for anything helpful from our guides, angels, other friends of the light and spirit, even intuition. What comes through could be for several people, but it won't be for everyone. So if you want to make sure you catch future segments, do subscribe. Anyway, thank you if you're still here with me, and let's get started. This time, I'm feeling drawn to acknowledge you, who look like you have your life together now, but it took a lot of work to get here. You've been in an abusive relationship or two, questioned your self-worth and whether life was worth continuing. You've been in situations where you didn't have anywhere to live, anything to eat, and have done things you didn't think you would to get some money or some assistance that came with strings attached. You look back on who you were and everything you've been through and wish you could be the one to be there for your younger self when no one else was. But guess what? You're here now, and you've accomplished so much more than you or even other people thought you could. So you know you were there for yourself when no one or barely anyone was. You are a huge success, and because of what you've experienced, you come from the place now of wanting to give your kids or other young people that you care about lots of love and support so they don't have to suffer unnecessarily. Your relationships today are richer than many of those you had growing up because you've learned how to be healthier emotionally and in so many other ways. So kudos to you. You've done beyond a great job. Oh, and by the way, this message is also for those of you watching this who are currently still experiencing those challenges. Future you in a parallel reality is saying you can make it through. And we have reached the end of today's video, angels. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and share it with like minds whom you know will appreciate it also. I'll speak to you again soon. I send you love. Namaste.